They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, and welcome to Look Squirrel Down Under. I am the Squirrel, and recently I put out a video, and in the comment section, some people said, you know what you should check out? You should check out. This is Bathurst. Well, I went looking for Bathurst, and I believe I found the right video. It seems like a lot of people have reacted to it just by searching for it, so I think I'm on the right spot. We'll find out. Let me know. If not, let me know what the full name is, and I'll do the other one. I don't know. But this is 10 Motorsport. There's nothing like it. This is Mount Panorama. This is Bathurst. If it's your first time here, I've begun reacting to everything down under, and I'd appreciate it if you came along for the ride. Please feel free to subscribe and hang out. This is Look Squirrel Down Under, and this is Bathurst. It's a Red Foreman.
You know what? You never forget it. You never forget it because there's nothing like it. This is Mount Panorama. This is Bathurst.
As soon as you head out on this mountain, it is total commitment for every single millimetre.
Looks like last cars are gridded up now.
If you can't make the judgment call 120 metres into 1,000 kilometres to just be a little bit sensible, don't start the race.
The Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 erupts.
And the charge to turn one.
Okay, it's a great corner, second gear. The engine's right in its sweet spot. But remember, whilst you've got to carry mid-corner speed and use that exit curb, you want to get to 100% throttle early, so don't get too greedy. Don't get caught up in the moment. The moment is 6 hours later.
It's a 6-hour race. That's what I'm assuming. Just a couple things of note real quick. This guy obviously knows the course real well. I'm assuming he's run it many times. I'm interested in the fact that it's all the cars on at once. It's not like a lap thing where they time the laps and best lap. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love those kind of, those kind of competitions as well. I just thought it was kind of cool because you're immediately seeing people wiping other people out. So
Side by side up Mountain Straight.
If I can offer you one free bit of advice, every single time you exit the pit lane, you grab your belts and you tighten them. And every other lap you think of it, you tighten them again. And after a pit stop, whether they've changed the brake pads or not, tattoo it under your eyelids. Pump the brake pedal, because if they put the pads in and you forget, fuel on the road, you're a goner.
wow.
Yeah, Griffin's Bend, right? It's one of the toughest on the circuit. If you don't get this one right, psychologically, you're gone for the rest of the lap.
Big hurry up.
It's about 260 on the way in, remember? And you've got to knock off 130 k's an hour. But you've got to do that on the bumps on the way in. But let me give you a tip. When you're challenging for Griffin's Bend, either make the commitment or get the hell out of it. We're approaching the cutting. If I can't tell you anything simpler than this, there is one racing line up there. Make sure you're on the tram tracks. There is no room to put your front right tyre even a foot outside of where it needs to be.
Oh, the track is jammed.
Oh, the whole track jammed up.
Idiot, I'm sorry.
Hug the wall. This guy's like he's a pro.
When we come up to Reed Park, you need to hug the wall. Put the car right over there, hard on the wall, but be careful. Don't overuse the curb on the inside. It'll feed you into the wall.
I just saw the drop off there. Not a fan of heights, by the way. You'll learn that about me. That's yeah. Nope, you're not paying me to do this. By the way, earlier you talked about, if they change the brake pads, you don't pump the brakes, right? Like, It takes me 4 hours, 3 friends, 17 borrowed tools, and a case of beer to change my fucking brake pads.
Drama here.
This is a great part of the circuit where we go from going up the hill and we transform to going down the hills. And no more beautiful sight than your revs in front of you, bang, 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 bang. So we're out of Reed Park and now we're going to head down to that damn grate, right? It's a horrible, dirty drain up against the wall on the right-hand side of the circuit. Now, the problem here is you've got to commit really, really early. And you don't know, because nowhere in Australia does your front tyre on your car get more downward load than at the grate. You don't know way back then if your power steering is going to suffer it or it's going to give up and feed you into the fence.
It's a risk. That's quite the risk.
So we've got through the grate. We're now heading through Sulman to McPhillamy Park. This is Mount Panorama. This is where you need to be thinking corners ahead of where you are. You can't see the roadway up ahead, but you're going to average from the cutting all the way to Skyline around 200 kilometres an hour. This ain't kids' play.
Oh, big moment.
So you've got through the top of the mountain, you've done the tough driver stuff. Now, throw that bit away, you're going to be a ballerina.
That's the view from Skyline. Go for broke time.
You're going to need to dance all the way down through the S's
The descent starts.
until you arrive at the dipper. And when you get to the dipper, yeah, sure, it looks really cool with two wheels hanging up in the air. You can't get the throttle on, can you, with two wheels in the air? Get the thing back on the deck, and the moment your rear tyre hits the ground is the same moment your right foot hits the firewall. Now weave through the concrete walls, but don't get too clever and trying to get an inch away from them. There's nothing to be gained by doing that. Forest elbow. This is the second time and the only other time in the lap that you're not going to feel your front tyres. You're going to come over the little crest there, downhill, and 1.5 tons she won't want to pull up. Oh, look at this! So this is where you need to be really measured, slow it up, because your big drama here is going to be understeer. The car does not want to turn there.
They're tagging.
For goodness sake, be aware of what's going on around you. If there's one gap you can leave open for your competitors, it's right there.
It's crazy because you're flying down the track. This is like Isle of Man TT meets like Rally Sport meets NASCAR, super fast, up and down. I mean, this is crazy. But what if you come around the corner and there's like 5 dudes wrecked and you're doing 200 miles an hour, or kilometers an hour?
Think about this. You need to either position yourself out right, commit yourself to Conrod Straight and your top speed, or you're going to need to defend, because that is one of the great spots for attack. And if you're going to defend, there is nothing surer you are going to compromise your straight line speed. So if you're going to defend, you defend. You block him, you pull him up, so you get your foot to the gas first.
This is wild. This is as fast as it gets.
300 kilometres an hour.
Now, I don't care what cars you've driven in your career or where you've driven them. There is nowhere else that you're going to go where 1.5 tons of race car at 300 kilometres an hour actually feels like 1.5 tons of race car at 300 kilometres an hour. And you're approaching what is the fastest corner in Australian motorsport, the Chase. You want a tough bit of roadway? That's it. You want to talk about commitment? This is it. You come down here and you'll see there's 1 metre of tarmac that's been laid down on the left-hand side of that for you to use every single millimetre of it. If for one lap you do not go out there and use that,
That is an almighty crash.
you're going to compromise your lap time and compromise your result. So you need to use that every lap. And why do you need to do that? You need to get the car around there at 300 kilometres an hour, do not lift your right foot off the throttle until the car is squared up, and when it is, and only then, you put your foot on the brake and you push it so damn hard that you want to bend the brake pedal.
He goes, he's into the side of him. They run into each other. He's blocked out brake. He's going to redress. He's going to redress. Oh, no, they're all gone.
This is huge in Australian motorsport.
Ooh, that's what I was talking about right there.
Last corner. So you've got 6 kilometres of the 6.213 kilometre circuit done. Do not get it wrong here.
This kid is going to win this thing today.
Finish the job right now.
Will Davison might get this done. Nothing in it. He wins it by a car length.
So that defines this mountain. That defines this race. Do you want to win it? Everyone wants to win it. If you can't first beat the mountain, you will never win this race.
It's a 1,000-kilometer race. I gotta back this up. Hold on. So it's 6.213 kilometers, and you do 161 laps. Is that correct? Is that what I'm seeing right here and down here? Wow. I'll tell you, just that guy going through that once was so intense. I couldn't imagine doing that 161 times in a row if that's what I'm seeing, and that's right. That was really a pretty fucking awesome breakdown, though, with him writing it all in as you're going along and describing it all, and that was really cool. That seems like a really, really intense race. I think I have to watch some clips of the actual race. I mean, there was some clips peppered in there, but like maybe some highlight reels, things like that. But I'm glad I got to learn about the race first. It's always, it's important to make sure that you know what the hell you're looking at, I guess. I don't always do that, to be honest with you, but that was pretty good. I liked it. I'm glad you guys recommended it. I'll definitely have to check out some Bathurst highlights and check out some of the Bathurst racing. So appreciate it. This is what I want. I want you guys to let me know, like, what should I be checking out? What am I going to learn? I have no idea there was Mount Panorama and there was this Bathurst race. I had no idea you guys did this. I'm sure it's somewhere within 60 miles of the shore. Hey, listen, I enjoyed this. I thought it was really well. I thought it was really well done video, and I enjoyed reacting to it, and I enjoyed learning about the race. So, have any of you guys gone to the race? Have you been there? It looks like there's tons of people there, lots of viewing areas, which is pretty awesome. So, tell me what you think. Tell me, have you been to Bathurst? Is this like the big event on TV? It must be this huge thing over there, right? It's awesome. You guys, thanks so much for spending time with me. Thanks for recommending This is Bathurst, and thanks for watching along and hanging out with me. All right, I'll catch you guys soon. Until next time, Squirrel out.